The Nintendo Switch 2 was just released, and it is already on course to shatter records across the world. With pre-orders crashing instantly, the amount of promotion for this project, and with the first ever Nintendo Switch being a massive success, this is most definitely going to be the most bought console of 2025. So to celebrate, I'm going to be building the world's largest Nintendo Switch 2 in my hardcore world, alongside my friend, Crag4000. So today is April 22nd, meaning we have 44 days until the release of the Nintendo Switch 2 on June 5th. Now, that might not sound bad, but with a friend like Crag4000, that might take a little bit longer than expected. But the only thing we can do is start. Alright, this is my template for what I'm gonna be building. Look at Mario, isn't he so high definition, high quality? Yoshi has seen some better days. Bedrock? Are you kidding? Why is Mario pink? Mural. What am I doing? So, I spent about a week designing the Switch itself and making it 3D, and removing blocks like diamonds that would be a pain to get in survival. And after all that, the Nintendo Switch design is complete. But now, it's April 28th, meaning there's only 37 days left. Now, I know that might sound like there's no problem, but for a build with 108,439 blocks, that's a huge issue. Normally, time for these videos isn't an issue. I could spend 8 months on a video, and that's okay. But my average video takes a few months to make. This time, I only have one, so we've got to make every moment count. Okay, so now that we're on the hardcore world, I've got a problem. I am nowhere on schedule to get this thing done on time, so it's time to pull out the big guns. Well, at least I have Mr. Crag, I need your help.
Nay!
So, now that I have no one to help me right now, I think I'm just gonna Wait a second! Can you help me in my hardcore world?
What? No.
What if I pay you? So Gideon has decided to help me build the stone farm, while I go do other things to help me on time. So, Gideon's just the most awesome... Yeah, Gideon, I am not saying this. No way! No way! Well, don't worry, Mr. Crag4000. I'm just gonna deforest your area. This is the Crag4000 forest. Hold on, I actually need to do that. Crag4000 forest.
Ah, what a beautiful day. Zachary!
So although it looks like I didn't get all the blocks that I need, I actually got a lot from that short time lapse. But now, we're at what I like to call the Great Complication. Now, unlike normal builds, this build has a pixel art in it. And if you don't know what a pixel art is, it's basically a picture that you put through a software, and that software looks at each color and decides this block is the best fit. Meaning, you get tons of different blocks to represent all the different pixels. Some being easy and some being absurdly hard. So, I go through and remove all the hard blocks, but you see, I can't do all of them. This is what a pixel art looks like without any changes, but this is what it looks like after I edit it. It might not look as good, but it's a whole lot easier to collect. And for a project that we only had 44 days to begin with, that's a big deal. But I still have to leave some blocks because it would look really weird without them. So that's why we need a big list of different items, starting with frog lights. Now, I did need a stone and basalt farm, but I paid Giddy. I mean, he offered because he's just fine. Okay, Gideon, that is the best you're ever gonna get out of me. Okay, so I finished the Froglight farm, but now we have a dilemma. I need a bunch of different blocks, most of which being concrete. So I built a concrete farm. I also built a concrete converter. Yes, this is the same concrete converter that I blew up in my last Hardcore Worlds, then built again. So I built it again. So these farms were so easy and so productive that we're set on anything concrete-wise. And that's a good thing too, because we need 65,000 gray concrete blocks. We'll have to work our way up to those, but in the meantime, it's time to collect the rest of the random items. And to collect all of this, let's go finish it with a montage. And now, with that final collection montage, we have finally completed the collection phase. Now, we can move on to the building phase. It was when I got to the screen to the Switch where things took a turn. The day was May 29th. Everything except the screen was done, and already this was scary, because in one single week, I would hopefully have a Nintendo Switch 2 in my hands, and the world's largest Nintendo Switch 2 in my Hardcore World. But things just kept getting worse. As I started, it was fun, but the more time I spent building this, the less I wanted to continue. Pixel arts are very hard to build, and I wasn't even making the schedule when all of a sudden, 2 of my shulker boxes despawned, and this was devastating. Not only was I on the day where I wanted the whole project completed and I wasn't even halfway done with the screen, but I had also lost 2,000 items, and I had no time to get them, so I kept going, ignoring those items. But then, the day was June 2nd, when all of a sudden, I got my motivation back. After 3 days of just pushing through and wishing I could just delete this world and act like I had never tried in the first place. But every time, I told myself I didn't want to do anymore. Something just kept telling me, don't stop, keep going. And slowly, I saw it come together over just a few days. So I kept going, and going, and going, until it was June 4th, 11 p.m., with 1 hour to spare